what is Eddie Hearn even doing? What is he doing with this Anthony Joshua situation? Because we're hearing all sorts of things, and I feel like the guy's just waffling on just randomly. We're now hearing that Anthony Joshua is gonna be fighting in 2025. It's November now. Eddie Hearn said that Anthony Joshua wasn't really in camp. He might be fighting Jake Paul. We're hearing, obviously, now everything's going with the tank situation. We've then also heard that he might be fighting on the Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn undercard, which, being said, Anthony Joshua isn't in camp, really, said Eddie Hearn. Eubank versus Ben is next week. It's on the 15th. So, what's happening there? I don't know. Well, that's not going to happen. Then December 13th is the Diego Pacheco card, which Eddie Hearn is saying Joshua will be on. But it's like, why would Joshua fight on an undercard to Diego Pacheco? Uh, and, we're then hearing Joshua's going to be in an 8-rounder. But we've also heard other things, such as Joshua getting a big fight, Joshua getting a stadium fight. The Jake Paul fight is there. Eddie is like, oh, the Fury fight can be next. And then it's like, what are you doing? Like, what's the message that we're being sent here? Fans are just being misled. And I don't get what he gains out of this. And, people are just asking and asking about Anthony Joshua. It's a different response each time. What one is it? So Eddie has now confirmed Joshua will fight in 2025. That won't happen. I know for a fact that's not happening. Um, there's no chance he fights in 2025. I mean, I'd love to see him on the Eubank Ben undercard, but if you're not even being in camp, no matter even if it is an 8-rounder fight against, not a great name, you still need to have a bit of a camp. It would make sense for him to fight in December. I mean, we also heard something he might be on that Inoue Picasso card, but that's just like a whole massive Japanese card happening in Saudi, which I think we should just keep as that because that is huge for Japanese boxing, and I really like how that card is looking currently. It'd just be a bit weird if AJ is just placed into that card. But it's not right seeing Joshua not in the main event. Also, as well, it's like, in this point in his career, does he really need an 8-round fight? Unless it's a really quick turnaround for him, which it won't be when he comes back. He'll have an 8-round fight, possibly. I don't know if that will happen, though, but if he has an 8-round fight, he's probably not going to fight again for another 5-6 months. So it's like, what would the point even be in doing that? At this point, these warm-up fights don't matter. He just needs these big fights. Yeah, I know we got splattered out by Dubois in his last one, but at this point in his career, does he really need warm-up fights? Is there really much time for that? Because I don't think so. I think if he takes the Jake Paul fight, that's going to happen in 2026. If that happens, then you've got to have that as his last fight. He can't fight again after that fight. You can't have him fight again if he fights Jake Paul. I don't know what Eddie Hearn is doing here and what he wants to gain now. It's weird because look, Joshua's not going to be a world champion again in his career. He just needs these big fights. We need the Fury fight, but God, I don't know if Fury's retired or if he's not retired, or I don't know. If not, like the Dubois rematch is there, fight with Fabio Borti's there. Just stick him in with Moser the Talma, if anything, as well. Like, honestly, do that. It's winnable for Joshua, but again, it's also a fight which he could definitely lose. You could do him with Chisora. I know they're mates, but I don't know. Eddie Hearn's misleading everyone. If Joshua does fight in an 8-rounder, then who would it even be against? Some guy we've never heard of. It can't be a guy with like more losses than wins. Surely not. But if Joshua fights when he's not, I don't get it. Like Eddie Hearn saying he's not in camp right now. Then what are we doing? We're just being misled by Eddie Hearn, and I don't think he has a clue. I do not think he has a clue what is happening. I'm not sure if he really has been communicating much with Joshua. That's the impression I get. I'm not sure if they've really got a great relationship as, you know, being made out. I'm not sure they do have the best of relationships as, the public might have been told. It's a really strange one, but I think Eddie Hearn's trying to make the boxing fans look stupid here. He's just making Joshua look stupid in ways as well. He really is making Joshua look stupid in many ways. Um, but yeah, it's boring hearing about it. It really is just boring just hearing Eddie Hearn just constantly waffle on what is actually happening with Anthony Joshua. Because I'm bored. Like, does anyone really care? Like, what Eddie Hearn's just got to say? I don't care about it talking. Just get it something done. But Joshua on a Diego Pacheco undercard, even if it's an 8 rounder, that's you never know over that. Everyone would just be tuning in for Joshua. But it's I don't want to hear any of the talk from Eddie Hearn now. Just get something done. He's not going to fight in 2025. It's November. Why are you promising that? Because you're only going to go back on it next week and say, oh, yeah, we got something lined up for 2026 now. It's so weird. And as well, if he does this 8 rounder and then it's a warm up fight for Jake Paul, and that happens after that 8 rounder, it's like, what are we even doing here? I don't know. I really don't know. But Eddie Hearn's making himself look stupid. He's making Joshua look stupid. Trying to make fans look stupid.